technical and complex is not enough to protect yourself. But what's really changed most dramatically from the world of 2013 to the world of today is everybody is aware that Facebook is up to no good, that Google is up to no good, that all of these companies are really trying to shape and influence not just our societies, but our lives, our buying habits, every kind of general behavior that we have in a deeply targeted and personal way. And it's technology that is enabling this and making it all possible for the first time. Now again, that hasn't solved the problem, but the first step to solving any problem is we have to create a shared sense of understanding. We need a common set of facts, and today we have that.
1 year ago, Tucker spoke to Gordon Chang about this system. Watch.
What we have in China is that there's so many people there, of course. The government wants to control them, and so what they're doing is they're collecting data. They're collecting data from 600 million cameras that they'll have in place in 2020. They're going to have, traffic checks, all the rest of it. This is being rolled out, and it's being rolled out very quickly. So, for instance, you've got people who are not allowed to board planes and trains because their social credit score is far too low.
I'm not kidding. For example, if you have frivolous spending, that'll work against you in China. Smoking in a smoke-free zone, that'll cost you points. Is that the society you want to live in? Guess what? It's coming to America, courtesy of Silicon Valley. Brett Larson says it's true, and he is on Fox News Headlines 24/7. Brett, that's scary stuff in China. It started in 2014. They're rolling it out now.
Yes.
What do you mean it's heading here?
It's heading here, and it's kind of already here. And when you think about it, we share a lot of personal information on Facebook. We share when we're out with our friends. We might share when we're out having drinks with our friends. Maybe we're on the beach. Maybe we're having a fun vacation.
A traffic light with facial recognition. Cross on red, face a public shaming, and lose social credit points. In some Chinese cities, it's already a reality. Even those who sort their trash incorrectly have to reckon with point deductions in some places, as well as the penalties for low scores, like losing the right to ride the fast train. The point system is scheduled for full implementation across China by the end of 2020.
Well, last week, technology company Apple was forced to apologise after it emerged that external contractors had listened to thousands of snippets of conversations between Apple users and Siri, Apple's voice-activated assistant. Now, it might have been a headline that some of you missed, but it was a headline that didn't surprise me at all. I worked for communications ministers, two of them, one in the Howard years and one afterwards, and Apple says that listening was in fact research, and they undertook it to improve Siri's responses to human requests. And one afterwards, and Apple says that listening was in fact research, and they undertook it to improve Siri's responses to human requests. But from a company that prides itself on user privacy, it was a particularly embarrassing revelation. Of course, so much data is being harvested by technology companies in today's modern connected age that I doubt many people have a true handle on what's being collected about them.
I think, Peter, the big development is the machines not only can identify people, cameras can not only identify people, like up to 15 people in one scene, but they can also work out what you're doing. So in places like China, for example, which I suppose is this dystopian example of what we don't want to have happening, they're using it for jaywalking. There was one city that was in a report I read last year where they had a big monitor up at the intersection, and if anyone jaywalked or went walked through the don't walk period, they would be shamed on this big TV, and it was the actual computer attached to the cameras that was making those choices. Now, this can cause mistakes, and in that case it did. But the other point is that local governments kind of adopt their own systems with this, and they're starting to in the Northern Territory and Queensland. Stadiums in Queensland are installing cameras with AI capability. It's being looked at in Perth as well. And you've got everyone collecting data and analysing it, and maybe under the radar swapping it with each other, and that becomes a really big issue in terms of any vestige of privacy.